What's your most bittersweet childhood memory? Mine happened when I was 12, on a Tuesday in September, that started like any other school day. The morning air carried that crisp hint of autumn, and I could hear the familiar sounds of our neighborhood waking up. At 7:15 a.m., instead of my usual bowl of cornflakes, my mom made chocolate chip pancakes with fresh whipped cream. The kitchen smelled like vanilla and butter, warm and inviting. She was humming softly while she flipped the pancakes, something she only did when she was nervous. "No school today, sweetheart," she said, without looking at me, her voice carrying a forced lightness. "We're going on a little adventure." I looked up from my pancakes, syrup dripping from my fork. "But Mom, I have that presentation in social studies. It can wait," she interrupted, finally turning to face me with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Sometimes life gives us unexpected opportunities. We never took spontaneous trips. Mom was a scheduler, a planner, someone who booked dentist appointments 3 months in advance. But there we were at 8:30 a.m., loading into her old Honda with 2 suitcases I'd never seen before, navy blue with silver handles, looking somehow official and final. The drive took 4 hours through winding back roads. Mom avoided the highway, taking smaller routes through farming communities. She paid for gas with crumpled 20s from her purse, counting each bill twice with shaking fingers. Every few miles, she'd glance in the rearview mirror, her knuckles white on the steering wheel. "Where are we going?" I asked for what felt like the 100th time. "To see the ocean," she whispered, her voice catching slightly. "You've always wanted to see the ocean." She was right. I'd begged for years to see the Atlantic, but somehow, getting my wish this way felt wrong, like unwrapping a Christmas present in July. We arrived at a tiny coastal motel at 2:15 p.m., the Seaside Inn, peeling blue paint and a flickering neon sign. Mom paid the clerk in cash, signing the register as Ms. Callahan, her handwriting different somehow, more careful. She'd never lied about her name before. The next 3 days were magical in a way that felt almost desperate. We built elaborate sandcastles, collected shells, ate ice cream for dinner while watching seagulls dance in the surf. Mom laughed more than I'd heard in months, a sound that reminded me of before Dad left, before the phone calls started, before worry lines appeared around her eyes. On our last evening, we sat on the beach watching the sunset paint the sky in brilliant oranges and purples. Mom was crying, happy tears I thought, though something in her expression suggested otherwise. "Promise me you'll remember this," she said, squeezing my hand so tight it almost hurt. "Promise me you'll remember how much I love you, no matter what happens." "Of course, Mom, but why are you talking like we're saying goodbye forever?" She just held me tighter, her tears falling onto my shoulder like warm rain. The next morning, I woke up alone. Mom's suitcase was gone, leaving only the faint scent of her perfume. On the nightstand lay a note. "Wait here, someone's coming for you. I love you more than all the stars in the sky. Be brave, my beautiful boy, Mom." At 11 a.m., my Aunt Clara arrived, her face streaked with tears. That's when I learned the truth. Mom hadn't taken me on vacation. She'd taken me to safety. The men who'd been calling our house, threatening us about Dad's gambling debts, had found our address. Mom gave them everything we had left, but it wasn't enough. She'd spent our last $300 on those 3 perfect days, knowing she'd have to disappear to keep me safe from people who saw a 12-year-old boy as leverage. I still have the shells we collected, kept in a mason jar on my kitchen windowsill. 20 years later, Uncle Reed calls what she did abandonment, but I call it the purest love I've ever known. A mother's final gift wrapped in 3 days of paradise, a sacrifice disguised as an adventure.